started. I just started recording and I didn't have my hat on. One day you guys are gonna get me, but today's not that day. Not today. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. We are here at the title track for Bowie's album, The Man Who Sold the World, with one more track following, but I'm excited to see what the title track is going to sound like after all the amazing tracks so far on this album, which has been, I guess not surprisingly, good, but like, I'm surprised at how good it is. Not that I should ever doubt Bowie, but yeah. Second to last track, title track, The Man Who Sold the World. Let's go ahead and dive on in. We'll talk about it a little bit after. Here we go. Sorry.
We passed up on the stair. We spoke of was and when.
Some organ underneath too.
He said I was his friend, which came as some surprise. I spoke into his eyes. I thought you died alone a long, long time ago.
Ooh. Guitar following, organ following, that bass line. That's a really cool change into the chorus there.
I laughed and shook his hand.
Such a cool verse with this ghostly theremin-esque synth underneath it.
I searched for form and land. For years and years I roamed. I gazed a gazeless stare at all the millions here. We must have died alone a long, long time ago.
The guitar, then the organ. That is a cool layering progressive technique. And hold. That's cool.
Who knows? Not me. We never lost control. Your place to place.
One more time.
With the man who sold the world.
Haunting self-harmony. Nice long fade out at the end there. The title track is incredibly good and very well worthy of being the title track on the album. The harmonies, the layering of everything. I love the layering right before the chorus, the lead up to the chorus, where the bass starts up, then the guitar comes in, and then the organ comes in after, all playing and layering and progressing upon each other's melodies is really cool. Bum 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 bum. I can't do an organ sound. But that was just a really cool moment. And I love how there's so many unique elements in this track as a whole. From the way that it starts off when the verse comes in, giving Bowie a little bit of solo time with the words, no music around him accompanying, and then the music comes in right after he makes like the first line or two. And then it goes into, I would say, like a glam, psychedelic kind of feel, because it kind of feels like a Beatles-esque, but if they were like glammed up a little bit. That's what I'm kind of getting from this track, which I think is a really wonderful combination. It's darkly melodic. Ronson's guitar in here, it sounds absolutely tasty. The synth, I guess, is going to be played by Ralph Mace in this particular track, and I really like that atmosphere that he brings into it. It sounds like a theremin-esque organ to me, like the sound that he chooses and creates out of the synth there, but it sounds really, really cool. And I think that's part of where I'm getting a little bit of that Beatles-esque psychedelic flavor, because I think that really adds to it. Bowie singing, I really enjoy. I love that moment at the end in the outro when the voices are just being harmonized there, and once again kind of giving us that layering of progression, which I'm assuming it's going to be probably Ronson and Visconti on the backing vocals since they're credited. So I imagine that they're just harmonizing with Bowie at that point. But just a really, really wonderful track. And even the drums are relatively straightforward, but there's still like little ghost notes in this snare and some quick fills in there to still kind of give it some life. It's not just a, straightforward song. It still has some subtlety in some of the moments there, which I really, really enjoy. Very well worthy of being the title track. And it even has like an air of mysteriousness around it, I would say. We passed upon the stair, we spoke of was and when, although I wasn't there. He said I was his friend, which came as some surprise. I spoke into his eyes. I thought you died alone a long, long time ago. So the question is, who is he speaking of? Oh no, not me. I never lost control. You're face to face with the man who sold the world. I laughed and shook his hand and made my way back home. I searched for form and land. For years and years I roamed. I gazed a gazely stare at all the millions here. We must have died alone a long, long time ago. So is he dead and he's speaking to God? Is this like kind of like that kind of song? Who knows? Not me. We never lost control. You're face to face with the man who sold the world. And then he repeats that again. So I feel like that, I'm going to look at the Wikipedia article to find out exactly, but I feel like that might be it. We passed upon the stair. We spoke of what was like I feel like he's died. He's maybe walking with God, talking to him. I spoke into his eyes. I thought you died a long time ago. And like, I thought you haven't been around. And then God replies, no, I never lost control. You're face to face with the man who sold the world. Maybe. Let's dive into this one a little bit. Let's see. Bowie recorded his vocal on the final day of mixing, reflecting his generally dismissive attitude during the sessions. He was like, oh, whatever. Its lyrics are cryptic and evocative, being inspired by numerous poems, including the 1899 Antigonish by William Hughes Mearns. Vocals are heavily phased. Yes, that's definitely what gives it that haunting sound. It's said that it peaked at number 3 on the UK singles chart and eventually gained some mainstream attention. And I guess Midge Ure and Nirvana also recorded a cover of the song, which would be really interesting. I'm kind of interested in the lyrics. I see there's a lot of information. Like, who is the man that sold the world? It says the song's title has multiple precursors, including a 1949 Robert A. Heinlein science fiction novella, The Man Who Sold the Moon, a DC comic, The Man Who Sold the Earth, and some others. However, none have a thematic link to Bowie's song. Bowie frequently avoided giving a direct interpretation of the lyrics. He later remarked that he felt it was unfair to give it to Lulu in 1973 because it dealt with the devils and angels within himself. Bowie once stated that the song had was a sequel to Space Oddity. I don't know. I'll tell you. I kind of like my own interpretation. I guess, and this is from David Bowie himself. He says, "I guess I wrote it because there was a part of myself that I was looking for. That song for me always exemplified kind of how you feel when you're young. When you know there's a piece of yourself that you haven't really put together yet. You have this great searching, this great need to find out who you are." And so perhaps in him meeting with this man who sold the world, which I'm interpreting as a god of sorts, could also perhaps be looking inwardly in himself. You're face to face with the man who sold the world. Is it you? Is he speaking and looking at a mirror and seeing it that way? I don't know. It's a good song, though. Let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments below. Follow me over on Twitter. Support the channel on Patreon. Thank you so much for being here. Come back tomorrow, and I will see you all then. Bye, guys.